For Wednesday, the 15th of November 23, here's the latest on the national weather scene from Force 13 AU. Rain and thunderstorms to continue and will soak large areas of central and eastern Australia during the coming week, with potential for substantial rain in Queensland starting this weekend. More wet weather for central and eastern Australia. The first half of November featured widespread rain, storms over part of every state and territory in Australia, with the latest activity in the southeastern region of Western Australia, even though the Bureau of Meteorology has cancelled the warning. But I have no doubt that the Bureau will issue further severe thunderstorm warnings in coming days and later today. The wet and stormy weather included ominous shelf clouds, plenty of outback thunder, and more than 8 million lightning strikes in a single week. Australia's stormy November now looks set to continue for another week, with a series of upper level troughs expected to trigger rain and thunderstorms over large parts of the country during the next 7 to 10 days. So this is the second 7 to 10 day period, so there really hasn't been any respite. We saw earlier this week a report of a tornado here in Queensland's, I think it's Gatton area, east of Toowoomba, towards Brisbane, and sadly a elderly lady lost her life in severe thunderstorm activity, also here in Queensland. The bulk of the rain and storms will initially focus on Central Australia, Northern and Western South Australia, Southern Western Australia between this Wednesday and Friday, with a bit of wet weather also affecting parts of Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. From the weekend, a deepening low pressure trough should allow showers and thunderstorms to become more active over the country, and forecast models suggest the wet and stormy weather will continue into the first half of next week across a broad area of the nation's east and north. Whilst it's difficult to predict where and how much rain will fall over the next week due to the dynamic nature of the weather pattern, which will involve several upper level and surface-based troughs. At this stage, rain and storms are likely to affect parts of every state and territory during the next 7 days. And here's a look at the storm probabilities from 1300 hours through to 2200 hours. Supercell probabilities out to Friday from 1300 hours today, and pressure and rainfall. And as I just mentioned, rain and storms likely to affect every state and territory over the next 7 days. This month's rain and prolific storms in some ways defying the dry spring outlook that was predicted under the influence of the El Nino and a positive IOD. However, the main reason for this month's wet weather has been a positive phase of the SAM, which has increased the flow of moisture over Australia from the east. Looking further ahead, seasonal forecast models predict that rain will be near to or above average over much of southern and southeastern Australia next month, December. And in a earlier video, I reported that we are going to see around or in excess of 250 millimeters leading up to Christmas. However, the country's northern tropics are expected to be drier than usual as El Nino delays the start of the wet season. That's a negative. Also keeping an eye on the now weakening tropical cyclone Mao, which was a category 3 earlier today. It's now down to category 2, and it is being slammed by a very hostile environment, i.e. high wind shear. There's a hazardous surf warning current for New South Wales, Macquarie, Hunter, Sydney, Illawarra, Batemans and Eden case. No rainfall has been recorded in any of the capital cities. There are 2 heat wave warnings, one for South Australia, one for Queensland. Strong wind warning for New South Wales Byron case. Tasmania's got a strong wind warning for the central north coast, Bank Strait, Franklin Sound, east of the Flinders Island, south east coast and southwest coast. Now here's a look at the latest Bureau of Meteorology's total forecast of rain. There are 3 slides, days 1 to 4, 5 to 8 and 1 to 8. The right hand side of the screen has the rain scale, and this is a developing scene. And at the time of doing this update, 23.8 in Sydney, 17.2 Melbourne, 30 here in Brisbane, 23.8 Perth, 21.4 Adelaide, 18.3 Hobart, 25.5 in Canberra, 31.7 in Darwin. Possible shower or storm for Darwin, partly cloudy for Canberra, cloud clearing Hobart, mostly sunny Adelaide, the same for Perth. Possible afternoon storm, and there is activity developing for Brisbane, partly cloudy for both Sydney and Melbourne. And this is days 1 to 8, and look at that area in green. And I'm looking at 50 to 100 millimeters. Here's a look at precipitation. It's the GFS model. They update every 6 hours. This picture is changing. The precipitation scale is at the bottom of the screen, and what I look for is the area in yellow through to dark brown. And you can clearly see it's going to be central Queensland area, south of Fraser Island here in Queensland, northern New South Wales, probably down as far as Goffs Harbour or even Port Macquarie. And look at the inland area, and this is developing. The brown can be anywhere up to 500 millimeters plus. Also keeping an eye on a possible tropical or area of interest to come on the radar. They're probably on the weekend or early next week in the Solomon Island region, Papua New Guinea. And this picture is changing, but as I've previously mentioned in this update, we're looking at in excess of 250 millimeters leading into Christmas, and that information that I provided earlier in this update is an extract from the weatherzone.com.au website. We will continue to bring the latest information to you, and probably above average rainfall leading to Christmas.